All right. Good night, guys. A few more have joined, but I think we need to go ahead. How are we tonight?
I'm tired.
hmm Tell me something that is new.
You okay? I'm awake, sir.
Ah, bless the Lord. Trust me, I have been up from about 14 past 12 this morning,
I have been up
trying to,
from 2.
yeah, man, just trying to get some stuff out of the way. Went back to lie down at about 6 o'clock ish. Well, after 6 o'clock, and jump up back before 8 o'clock. And from that time till now, I'm feeling like what would feel like sawdust in my eyes.
Oh Lord.
And I know that I want to sleep. So
But
you have
we're going till 10 tonight, don't you, sir?
absolutely, which is what I was about to say now. You have to engage me, class.
Jesus have mercy.
I must be engaged or else.
You won't drop asleep. I know the feeling,
Absolutely.
sir.
And guess what? I don't know if it is a right decision, and I apologize to you for that beforehand, but I have changed my position. I'm actually in a bedroom having a class tonight.
Bad idea, sir.
Because guess what? I know exactly what my eyes is. If I say
If we don't hear from you in about 5 minutes, you just know stay gonna sleep, sir.
absolutely, and I say roops, and everybody mute,
Oh God.
don't be surprised if you hear me gone. And I call and nothing.
Oh
I am
Jesus.
gone. So,
Oh, Lord.
all right. So I am happy that you guys are up and about. Um, I would just like to start off my class tonight. I mean, we're moving into big things. I am very excited. I love teaching calculus. Um, I enjoy teaching calculus. But just allow me to just to address something here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So nine students were affected by the inactivity on EDFSA by not completing the required number of pieces. And not all nine of you, some of you of the nine received all four zeros because it means that you still have not or did not attempt any of the assessments and you got those zeros. So those of you who are affected by that will have four zeros already. Congratulations.
Sir,
Yeah.
Seriously, sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, I was trying to call you from the other day. I
Mhm.
am still not on EducaSoft. I don't know which email address that you have me on the platform with.
But McHugh, is this McHugh?
Yes, sir.
No, but we don't understand. If I looked at it and I told you that you're there, but if you're not there, say something to me.
I messaged you, check your message, and I tried calling you the other day, and it went straight to voice.
What you used to call me? The office number?
Yes, sir.
No, you can't call me your office number. Do you know why? July, I'm in the palm break. I mean, I know why them calling me down there. So you can't call me on office number straight up. I mean, I have no apologies to say that. I know that I'm being recorded. I am on a downtime, July, and I'm hibernating. So if you know hear
sir,
from me, call me WhatsApp or who that I call to
sir.
me. Emilia, I can't hear Emilia.
No, I one alone. No, I never know say the one they included to, sir. I never
Emilia,
forget to finish that one there.
I can't hear Emilia.
Sir,
Sir, I never get to start that one there, sir. Just beg it out
sir,
that one there alone, as
Mhm.
you say.
Okay.
sir, good evening.
Hey Marie, how you doing?
I'm fine, sir. I'm having a challenge, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the one with total cost on that one. Sir, every time I try to put in the addition, when I put in the other numbers to it, the addition becomes behind the number that I put in, and that cannot be right because when I click it, it's gonna be wrong. Why is that, sir?
All right, do me a favor. So when next you're doing it, Marie,
Yeah.
call me. Please do not call me from your office number. I know where you work, Marie, and make you know where you work. Do not call me from the office number.
I never call you from the office number because I can never get up on the number there, sir. So I always text you or call your cell phone, but you never answer, sir.
No,
Sir,
no, no.
Talk like him answered no call at all or
No,
message.
hold on. Let me
I
ask you a
was
question.
just about
Let
to
me ask
say
you a
that.
question.
I was
Let me
just about to
Hey,
say
I
that.
tried that in the past, so I'm just letting
let me
you know, sir.
no,
Don't
let me
answer
ask you. Let me ask you.
Mm.
How JD came into all of this?
Because I'm talking from
No,
previous situations.
no, but you see, when a man is in crisis, a new creature, you're gonna use something from yesterday. You must learn to forgive, you know. No man, let me tell you what is happening. I have a cell phone, and it's a confession. It's a confession. I have a cell phone, but I'm going to tell you what has been happening to me. So let me just show you here. So, and I'm not making any excuse. I just want to be real.
alright, so before you're going to your text phone, before you're going to your cell phone, so what I'm there.
That's the sound.
See some quote me there try some pan Edico stuff for them. So whole heap of them, about 10 or 11 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But me I see like me I see topic them, me I say, oh probably sir just I'll teach them each time, okay, and go on and do them. Right?
Wait,
So that way.
say it again.
When you teach a topic, you can go and do it online.
You're supposed to be working ahead of me. It's a short
Oh,
semester.
me I know to work before. Because I stop at 2 and I say, all right, next class I'm going again. So I go on and then I come back out and.
No, Papa. No. You have to work. You have to be working ahead of me.
So.
Yeah, man. All right. So let me. And I forgive me for not saying this.
Sorry.
Yes, really.
Let me mention this in regards to the class in differentiation first principle. You said that I think it is verbals. The letters are called. I'm not sure. Verbals. You said the verbals does not matter, but mark you, they do. Because when I was doing verbal differentiation first principle, and I, for example, put X before the H, when I selected the answer, it gave me incorrect when I'm looked to see if what I had got wrong. I realized that the verbals needs to change. So, sir, when you said that the verbal does not matter, in Edicosolve it does.
All right. Wait. What do you mean by variables?
The XH or the HX, man, when they reach on to expand the bracket as it relates to the 2HX in the first bracket.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Yes,
if the H first or the S.
yes, I am telling you, Mr. Markson, it matters.
All right.
I should have take a picture of it, but
all
it
right,
doesn't.
please. If you can find it and just share the screen and let me look at it.
No, maybe not. Do it over back and get it right and move along.
No, man. All right, do me a favor. Find it for me and send it off to me, please. Let me look at it. All right. What? Yeah.
Yeah,
Emilia, I can't hear you, Emilia. I don't know what is wrong with the mic tonight.
I beg, sir. Just pull them on.
Emilia, I can't hear you. Your microphone is put in a headset, Emilia. All right. No, hear me out, guys. Hear me out now.
So yeah, hear me now.
Not quite. Anybody else hearing him? I'm not hearing you. All right, hear me out now, guys.
Sir, cool, man.
Tashana, why are you laughing? I can hear you, no, Tashana, but I can't hear Emilio.
That's why I'm laughing, because you can't hear Emilio.
I can't hear you, right.
You're selective hearing this evening,
selective,
sir.
yeah. I mean, yeah. When I don't put on my glasses, I don't hear so well. All right, let's go.
Mr. Sean. We have a common friend in that. I know that common friend. Don't let the fight yard, you know.
No, guess what? That common friend is short.
No.
All right, let's go. Now, here what is happening now, guys. Okay, so some of you, maybe one or two of you, would be a direct contact, and but there are times, many times, that because I'm not up there like some of you with a part of the Apple family. I'm still there with Android. I don't have your number stored to my phone. All right. Now, guess what is happening? what I was trying to show you before Tucson said something is that I have 37 Foundation 3 students. I have 22 um, business capitals. So 37 and 22, that's 59. And then I have about 10, let me call it 11, because then the number will come out. 70 students. All right? And let me tell you what I find is that, and I don't have a problem with students want to send me something privately. Don't have a problem with that. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes I get messages on my phone, and when I look on my phone, I see like 13 or 14 or so new messages or one more messages. And by the time I'm going through and I'm reading through the messages, I say, who on earth is this? Because your name on this stuff is
ADR,
AD and Good Sensei and
yeah, yeah, all of them something there.
and I don't know who you are. So like somebody asked me something on Sunday when I was up doing some stuff and I saw the message come in and I read the message. I said, okay, who are you again? And the person said, okay, I'm this. I said, okay, fine. So I'm saying this to say to you that, and sometimes you see me read the messages. If you're messaging me, please, I don't want to ask you to go and change your name on your WhatsApp status because that would be too presumptuous of me. But sometimes students are having a conversation with me, and I, honestly to God, don't have a clue who I'm talking to. And by the time I'm supposed to go around that, like I said, that's why I said I answer Matthew, the way I answer Matthew today. Today's Tuesday, Monday, I was in a meeting from 10 o'clock. All 1 o'clock the meeting I go on still. This morning, I got up at 8 o'clock. I got back at about 8 o'clock. This morning, up on the road for 9 o'clock, then my phone alarm to say I have a 10 o'clock meeting. And I said, I'm not going. I'm not
Sir,
going.
why wanna do it? Them
Why?
long out meetings there. Why wanna do it?
You saw that last meeting that we had with a 3.5 hour meeting?
Yes, why wanna
No.
do it?
Why only do you notice you did hear me talk? You know me do? Me jump in my car and me go sport. Me I use my data, me there road I do road. Right? Because so this is why I'm saying no, I'm deliberately taking a break. No, if you're trying to, I often say to students, if you're contacting me, contact me within the group because you know one of the things that I do, because I know I'm teaching 3 courses this semester, and incidentally, yes, I had only 2 courses and I got an additional course last week, right? I would say to students, I know I have a responsibility to check my WhatsApp group for the classes that I'm teaching, but sometimes the group is dead. I mean, no conversation taking place in a group, but students are messaging me outside the group and I have no clue who I'm talking to, right? So that poses a problem. And to be honest with you, it is an issue that is, you know, perennial. So I am going to see how best I can find a way to circumvent that sort of situation because you know it is difficult and the messages come over. The final thing I'm going to say is that it's when you open my email, Matthew can say it, Marie can say it. That's if them get it. Sometimes it's like a zillion emails. So it's by time you say, but sir, I emailed you. I said, no, I don't send an email because your email moved from the first page and gone to page 3 because of the amount of emails that come into myself. So sometimes I have to take a deliberate action to say, okay, no email today because I'm working on an exam paper and must have tunnel vision to finish the exam paper or else I may get distracted. But anyway, enough said on that. Students, I'm somewhat concerned though, and I'm going to be very frank with you and very honest with you. Quite a number of you here I have interacted with at some point in time. Quite a number of you. Meaning to me can see your road and call to you and say, oh, hi there, right? There are 1 or 2 of you here that we can pass you, and you pass me, and we don't even know so we name. All right? What am I saying is, some of you are not pulling your weight, and I'm very disappointed in that. I had a long conversation with students in last class. The request came in, sir, close it Sunday night. I closed it on Monday. And there are 7 or 9, I'm going to count 9 students. 9 students. It means that you're not ready for this. You're not ready for it. Come on, students. I told you before that I understand that it is difficult. But if I don't get it to work, or when the exam come and done, when you still have to have assessments completing online, it is unacceptable. Let me just remind you something. When I finish off on the studies here, a business calculus on reach. The next thing you do, you have, I think for most of you have 1 more semester and you finish off on the bachelor's, the associate degree. And some of you may be finishing up the associate degree this semester. So you know, baby, because no babies are first year students. No babies, not in this class because when they can't just come to the college and have a business calculus.
Except Marlene, sir.
True, because she not start grow yet. Don't talk truth. Yeah, I still there are need. True. Right? But all I'm saying to you students, you have to pull up your socks. I was going to use something else, but I don't want to offend anybody. But you don't have to pull up on the socks, you know. I am not impressed by some of you, what it is that you are doing. I know there is a new student that I invited to come to the class today. Okay, mommy, this little talkie is not for you because I know you're just starting, right? But for the rest of you, come on. We're not in this game to fail. I want, when I put in my grade sheet, the 22 of UNO, I can put out 23 of you now. I can say I have 23 students passing my course. And how some of you have started off, it is not attractive. So I'm asking you to do me a favor. Rushing yourself off, try again. We don't want no excuses. We don't want no excuses. Your excuses may be very real, but I'm not going to entertain them. I refuse to entertain those excuses. I want my students to be on top of things. On top of things. All right? No.
Sir.
Yes, honey.
Sir, question. When you close off some of the assessments, right? Can you leave the practice open? Is that possible?
I don't even know. That's a good question. Let me try. I've never tried it before. Let me try it and see what happens. Let me try it and see what happens.
Because I would love the practice stay open, so you know.
You still can go through.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I'll try that. Sean, okay. I've never tried it before, but I'll try it. But students, I'm gonna just be frank with you though. You know, I don't want to come to class and come talking about the lack of, you know, interest and something. No, nobody have to do for business calculus 1 or 2 or 3 times. No, a one-time business we are talking about. One-time business we are talking about. Come on, man. I'm not pleased, and I don't want to have to come back and speak to you guys about this again. All right. Now, having and incidentally, there's no love lost. You understand? In this sort of teacher-student relationship, I will cuss you out good and proper. And after I finish cuss you out good and proper, I am there talking to you good and proper. I am just trying to say to you that many of you, if not all, are the ones paying your school fee. You know how much time to fail. Failure is not an option, not at this stage of your life.
You know good, sir? You know good, sir?
Oh.
I'm still waiting on you, sir. Good, sir.
Sorry, somebody saying something? Emilio, leave me alone.
I'm going to find a mutual friend and make him tell me where you live. You wait, I'm going to find where you live. I'm going to hold you by your neck and strangle you.
I hear you. Yes,
sir. Never next week Sunday they say I close them.
Mr. Shackelford.
You know, say that me here to Rasta, a real thing, you know.
Shackelford. You see the thing about it? You have played Miss Sabbath too, you know. On the Sabbath, you tell life on the Sabbath too, you know. But anyhow, let's go, guys. So, as I said before, I started off. This part of the calculus is one of the areas that I love doing, and I'm going to tell you why. It gives students an opportunity to be on top of things, right? I'm going to do an activity in class tonight, and I'm going to be calling upon people now. Hear me out now. Hear me out. It's when I call on you, I want you to unmute, right? If you don't know the answer, still unmute. It's an exercise not to embarrass you, but to help you. What am I doing? We went through differentiation from first principles, and incidentally, I'm going to give you one to do in class tonight again, because first principles differentiation is a must-have on your mid-semester. Take note. It's a must-have on your mid-semester. Also, what is important is the different using the different rules for differentiation. No, differentiation is finite. What do I mean by finite, sir? You can differentiate using first principles. You can differentiate using the chain rule, the product rule, and quotient rule. There are no other rules for differentiation. So it's finite. You can count the number of rules for differentiation. For integration, it's infinite. You have so many different rules of integration that I will now have to be very specific to say these are the only ones we are going to be using. All right? We have to be so specific for me to say these are the ones we are going to be using. Now, I want you to hear me out and hear me out well. When I'm differentiating using the chain rule, scratch that. Let me start how I started. First principles differentiation, the limit as h tends to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. The limit as h tends to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Now, here what happens. The h that we are introducing is an increment, a small increment, right? Which is really a change. Geez, on peace, sir. What do you mean by a change? Last time I showed you y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now the change in moving from y1 to y2 is that increment that I'm talking about. That's the increment that I am interested in. When I say x2 minus x1, moving from x1 to x2, there is a change. The distance between x1 and x2 is a change that I'm talking about. That is what I'm interested in, that small change. Now, that small change is going to be denoted by h. So that's what I'm interested in, right? So, but sir, why couldn't you just put h alone? No, because it is all mixed up and tied up into the formula of the function. So I'm showing you what it is that we're doing, which is f of x plus h. Then when I would have incorporated the f of x plus h, I will now need to take out the f of x, which is my original function. Having removed my original function, then what I'm going to be doing now is to do my sort of expansion. When I complete the expansion, I subtract my f of h, my f of x, and all of my f of x must come out. One has to be very careful, extremely careful in using their algebraic skills. Extremely careful in applying their algebraic skills, all right? And it will come out. Having taught you the different rules of differentiation, when you get a first principles differentiation, you will know what your answer is supposed to be, so you can work towards your answer. You can work towards your answer because you know what your answer is supposed to be. But if they ask you to use first principles differentiation and you kiss your teeth and say you can't bother with that and use a regular differentiation, you get 0 mark. 0 mark. All right? It means that you're not playing by the rules of the game. All right? So you must know all forms of the differentiation. All right. So the other thing that I'm going to talk to you about is looking at a chain. A chain has many links. And you know, we always hear A chain is as strong as its weakest link. So, all members, and you often hear this when you come into group work setting, all members, if you don't pull your weight, it means that the chain is not going to be strong. And ray. In differentiation, we are interested in the individual links. Each
Hold on,
link.
sir,
Yes,
I
sir.
share something.
No, I'm actually trying to open up the document. It just finished opening up. Right? So what is happening is we are so that's the differentiation. The document was, my system takes a while, so which is why I started talking. All right, so those are my, and I gave you some questions incidentally. I gave you some questions, so I don't need to give you a question. No, I need to find out what on the comment something here. All right. So for the chain rule, each of those terms are independent. They stay by themselves. So I can give you a question with 5 different terms in the question, and I give you 5 marks, because when you differentiate, you get 1 mark for each correct differentiation. And you differentiate 2 of the terms incorrectly, but the other 3 terms are correctly done, you get 3 out of 5. So not because one of the terms is incorrect, it means that you're going to get everything wrong. All right? What's the point? It is important for you to show you're working as you go along. All right? So the chain rule. The chain rule is saying that I need to do the things individually. I need to differentiate the stuff individually. Matter of fact, let me just refresh my memory. I went to the chain rule, product rule, and quotient rule with you, right?
Chain rule and which rule, sir?
Product rule and quotient rule.
I'm not for this class, sir.
Okay.
Don't think so, no.
All right. So guess what now? I'm going to ask you for forgiveness. So I'm teaching a calculus 2 class, and I often get very confused with because it's pretty much the same thing.
May I add something, sir?
Go ahead, sweetie.
We missed a class because we had a meeting, and that the 2 hours for that was not.
Yes. Right. So
we're behind.
Yeah.
Technically, we missed 2 classes because one he didn't go. He was doing.
Lord have mercy, dear Jesus.
Who is speaking, Tashana? Tashana, who is speaking again?
Sorry, but I get involved with that.
So somebody's supposed to be penitent, right? And after that, my sincere apologies.
Profusely.
I'm telling you, clearly, I am not forgiven. And then you want me to open up something? Blessed assurance. Jesus is mine. Blessed assurance. All right, don't worry about it. You guys will definitely get stuff. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop there, because even though we did the first principles differentiation, I now need to go through the other rules of differentiation with you. But question. How many of you were able to do the questions given for the homework? And the homework questions are, oopsie daisy. The homework questions are there. How many? No, where are they?
If I'm being honest,
Right.
sir.
Yeah, be honest, man.
Yeah, I didn't do any of them. I couldn't. I didn't have time, and I still don't have time right now.
All right.
If I'm being honest, we have something to submit by 11:59 this evening, and you have my divided attention, but I'm really paying attention. It's just so much, and I'm trying, really, honestly. So.
And I understand.
So says us all, sir.
So all of you in the class have something to submit at 11:59.
I looked over, sir.
All of us, sir.
All 2J business students, yes, sir.
Raise your hand in the chat. Let me see how many of you have something to do. Please.
There we go.
Raise your hand in the chat, and let me have a count as to how many of you.
Because in the class, sir, I attempted the homework, and that's where I stopped. I couldn't go no more.
And guess what? I want you to be honest. If you're not in 2J, now put up your hand. Just be honest. It's something I want to look at.
Most.
I'm on that's half our class, sir.
Yeah, it's about half of you. Okay.
Ali, put up your hand.
Morning is a part of it too. All right. Let me ask you now. So Ophelia is not there. Romaine, Satania, Sidonie. Um, all right. At the expense for a one Emilia call to remind me that we
Sir,
are
no,
two
no, no,
classes
no, no.
behind. That we are two
One
classes.
classes. One class and one class technically.
All right.
Change him
You change him talk, man. All right. So I was all right. I understand. I understand. So what I could do for tonight, I could end at 9 o'clock, but on condition that we have to go make up this 1 hour because I mean we are already behind. So that to give you an opportunity, that extra hour to see if we can complete that piece of work.
Appreciate
Is that
Yes,
that
Sir,
okay?
we love you. We love you, yeah?
Yeah, who that come from, you, Mr. Shad? You who that come from?
No, Janelle, you're bad.
Please know who that come from. All right. And you never hear she said that yet.
All right. So what I'll do for I will the class goes up to 10, but I will give you an opportunity. I can't let you all beforehand, but I'll go up until 9 o'clock. But just remember that we need to at some point in time make up this 1 hour. But
Yes,
you see, now hear me out now, students.
Mhm.
And I want you to hear me. I'm not a hard lecturer. I'm not a hard lecturer.
As long as you
But it's
comply with it,
absolutely
sir.
when you do me work. If you do me work, we're good to go. But I don't like a lazy person.
If me have to stay up till 5 o'clock a morning, sir, me go ensure some
All
do
right,
something.
good.
That's how me see it.
All right. So let me since you never got a chance to do the stuff. So what I want you to do again, I don't want people to sit down. You can lower your hands. Thank you. I don't want people to sit down and have one eye on the screen and the other eye writing something. I want you to give me your undivided. So I'm going to beg of you just to put on what piece of work you have for 11:59 tonight. I'm giving you an extra hour. Just pay me some attention so that I don't have to go through this again. I'm going to do the questions on the board with you, and in particular for um, one student who is joining us tonight, and for the sake of those who may not be understanding. All right, so let's go. So what I gave you, what I gave you last class.
There's a first principle in differentiation.
First principles, right?
I went over it just to make sure it makes sense to me, sir. I swear.
All right, let me just be lazy and just copy this. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I understand. I was once a student. I know the run-ins. All right, so I'm just going to type through this. All right, so all of you, I want you to pay attention. If we can get through this, at least I can move into introduce you to the rules. If I can introduce you to the rules of the differentiation tonight, I'll be the happiest person. All right, so let's go. So you're given a function, and remember I need your undivided. You're given a function, f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. F of x is equal to 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Now, oh, come on. Something's in my system might move slowly now. Sure. All right, so what I want you to determine now is f dash of x from first principles. All right, so this is what a typical question will look like. Given f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 5x minus 3, determine f dash of x using first principles. Now remember, if you use any other principle other than first principle, you get naught.
We're going to get it wrong.
Naught. So what I was explaining to you before is the limit as h tends to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. What is seen in pink or red? What is seen in red is the formula. Right, that's the formula. Once you remember the formula, you can't go wrong. Just remember, it's the limit as h tends to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Now, what I have here as a solution is really not the solution. I just copied it from something else, a previous question. But what I want you to look at, do you recognize that each line that I have written,
Wherever
I
X
have
is, you're
limit,
putting, yes,
the
sir.
limit, h tends to
Yes.
0.
You
If you don't
explain
have it, if you don't
0.
have it, you are wrong. So you must have that starting thing. The limit as h tends to 0 because you're actually calculating the limit. You don't have it, you're not going to get the mark. All right?
Yeah, man, I think
So,
you tell me
sir,
that already.
sir,
Yeah,
you
man.
can
do
put
that.
that curly, you can put that curly bracket and put everything for it.
That me I say cause me like that
Okay.
long.
Okay, all right. Try it for me, please. And you see how many marks you get. So
Each line must have the limit h10 approaches
absolutely,
0.
absolutely. And anybody use curly brackets? Aha! I will curl your grades. All right. So let's go.
Okay, sir.
So remember now. So for those of you who just joining us, and for those of you who never got it fully, here goes your opportunity again. Let me go to my I don't like do. Spotlight. All right, good. Here goes my spotlight. This is a function f of x, and it's equals to 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. The incremental change that I was referring to, is going to be my h. Anywhere I have a x, I will have my plus h accompanying it, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is it? What I'm saying to you here now is
where you'd have that first line, it would be 2 and
very
open
good.
bracket
Very good.
x plus h close bracket to the second power. It just all right. What you
Plus
told us in
5.
the last What you
Right.
told us in the last class is that wherever x occurs in the formula, you put plus h because we're putting in the h, like how you season the pot. I remember that acronym, that
Excellent.
association. Yeah, and when everything done, you have to take it all back, which means what's in the, I can't call it parentheses, it's actually brackets. Where is the 7x2? I know it's from a different, from a previous equation, but that I can't call it.
See there?
Yes, it's
right there.
it
Right.
would be right there on the right side each time until you put it in to the formula itself.
Very good. So let me just translate what it is that she said. Very good, Tasha. Is that every time I write my f of x plus h, look at what is going to happen. I'm going to have 2x plus h, because every time I call an x, I have to put a plus h, which is my increment. I am investigating the rate of change, So it is going to be, so all of these x's in the f of x plus h will become x plus h. So this is going to become 2x plus h all squared. See it right there, so 2x plus h all squared plus 5
open
x
brackets.
plus, right,
X
because
plus
every
h
time you
close
write an x, you're going to have an x plus h. But sir, you never have an x plus h right here, so because there is no x right there. All right, so that's why we have that there. And then you always subtract the function, see here, minus f of x. And f of x is equals to 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. I'm subtracting all of f of x. Now, so that's the first line. What becomes very important now is for you to do your expansion. So look at what I have up top there, because you still can, I know you're seeing a black screen because I'm actually typing, but you can see the first line that I've written. X plus h all squares, is simply saying x plus h times x plus h. It is simply saying x plus h times x plus h. What is saying, sir? All right, so it's simply saying x plus h times x plus h. All right, and x plus h times x plus h, what is happening? X times x is x squared. X times h is hx or xh, jd. And then again have another h times x is hx. So those two, when added together, will give you 2hx. And h times h is h squared. Then minus plus. What I did here was just to write back all of these so I can just do one expansion. Oopsie daisy. and I'm going to need the expression now. So work with me. While you talk, I will be right. While you talk, I'll be writing.
All right. So
So
the
what
next
am I going to
line,
have?
the
Next line will
next
be what?
line would be 2x squared plus
Go ahead.
2x squared plus 4hx
hx
plus
plus
2h
2h
squared
squared
plus
plus 5x
5x plus 5h
Continue.
minus 3 minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 3.
All right, very nice. So just look to see if I've got all of what it is that you're saying.
minus x.
Very nice, guys. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
And the rest of you? I want to be on top of things. Very nice. So what I'm doing technically, I'm distributing. For those of you who don't see it, let me just point it out because it's very important. Where am I? What I'm doing here is, oh, come on. What I'm doing is distributing this 2, that 2, over this parentheses. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 2hx is 4hx, right? And 2 times h squared is 8 squared. And I'm doing the same thing here to give me this, and I'm doing the same thing here. Oh, but careful though. This negative sign,
you multiply it. So
right? So the sign will change.
Right,
the sign will change, and then no, what it is that we're going to be having now.
Negative times a negative gives you a positive. So yeah, the rules apply.
All right, no. Help me now. 2xh will cancel out.
2x squared cancel out 2x squared over here. So that's positive 2x squared cancel out negative 2x squared. Basically everything that's on the right, you got the three figures on the right that came from the original function will be and must be cancelled out. If not,
everything
it
must
will
be
be
cancelled.
incorrect. Yeah, it will be incorrect.
I want you to hear that point again, guys. I want you to hear a comment actually. I want you to hear that point again, guys. Everything on the right hand side, all of your f of x must be cancelled. If it's not cancelled, something wrong.
You did something wrong. So everything on the right, you have 2x squared, that cancels out the one in front. 5x as a negative 5x cancels out the positive 5x in the middle, and then plus 3, it cancels out this 3 right here. So you get left with the 4hx and 2h squared, and which one is this? I think 5h plus 5h.
Very nice.
I'm doing this out in my head, you know. Yeah,
all over h.
H, right?
Good. And then now we say to ourselves, now, what do we do next?
We cancel out h, sir.
Hold on.
Before we do that.
You group them, sir.
Right.
A factorize.
Factorize, that's the word for it.
I'm gonna factorize. Hold on. Right. I'm gonna factorize the h because I recognize that the h is common.
Yes.
Right. So I'm factoring the h. So what do I have now? Is that correct?
Hold on. H on the outside, 4x, 2h, yes, plus 5. Yes, that is correct, sir.
And then now my other step now is just to have
cancel out the h.
Cancel the h.
And then we can do the limits. We can do h approaches 0. So wherever h is in that, it would be 0. We can actually find the answer.
And that is what, 2h?
Wow.
2h and this is plus 5.
So,
and then now we just go ahead and the limit of a constant is the?
Constant itself.
Constant itself.
All right, very nice. The limit of a constant is a constant itself. So therefore, I'm going to end up with 4x plus
5.
Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. And that's what it looks like. Now let me reduce this. so that you can see it. That's the whole question. I did not skip any line. I wanted you to see everything that is happening. You can take a minute, look at it. If you're having a challenge, let me know. While you look at it, I remember doing the question, Emilio, if we have such a student in a class, said something about, sir, I can guess the answer. And I said, go ahead. And he was able to successfully guess one of the answers, slipped up with one of them, but well, guess one of the answers correctly, and then gave me two answers for two possible solutions for the first one. But the first one, though, one of the solutions that he gave was indeed correct. So he technically guessed them both because he was looking at what it is that I did, and really using mathematics, because math is really the studying of patterns, and he was really looking to see how we could arrive at our solution. Oh dear, this computer. Oh,
Sir, you know I didn't get the pick up the pattern. What's the pattern for it, please?
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna show you tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you tonight. That's where I'm gonna be moving into tonight.
Still. Then again.
I'm gonna show you tonight. Right. Don't worry about it.
No. That my part are always the 2hx. You know how you get that?
You don't say I get 2hx?
No. Oh, well, no, you have x plus h time x plus h, but so you explain it, sir. I'm not confused like a brain. We don't know to in the maths yet.
Yeah, I'm right about that. I'm gonna
I'm in my area. Tell us Friday, something wrong. Something wrong. You, Mr. Ashad, if I go Friday, make a mutual friend tell me where you live, man.
Same way, so and him know. So all right, let's go. Look at this now. Let us.
Right, because I know you say we went in there would that be expanded, so it would be x plus h plus x plus h.
Very good. Now it is this x. Let me spotlight this again because I want you to see what is happening. It is this x multiplied by this x to give me x squared.
Right.
I'm going back to this x and multiplying by this h to give me hx.
Oh.
Then, since I use this x to multiply everything in this bracket already, I'm going to move to the next term. So this h times this x will give me this hx. Right. And then now this h times this h will give me h squared.
H squared. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to get it.
Right. There's only one x squared in all of this. I put it back.
And there are two hx's, so it makes it into 2hx instead of
very
just
good.
It like that.
Yeah, man. Never say from it explain that part, the top part, I'm good. Man, no see how you get at the second level now, which is the x squared plus 2hx. All right.
We did this first year, no, but it's big, was
big. Yeah. Tell him that, cause boy, a long time.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, we are pre-cal days. I'm pre-cal last year.
Yeah, no problem. We will get this. I'm just trying to fix up something for you so that when you get it, you have it locked.
Okay. You know, but we always send the document anyway.
Yeah.
Always try go buy the document.
And all right. So. All right, so now that you see what is happening, we need to do this up. Can I tell a secret though? If you do as many of these questions as you possibly can, chances are you can just reel it off. What is x plus h all squared? Sir, x squared plus 2h, x plus h squared. Because you're going to be working so many of these questions that it's going to be so repetitive. It's going to be so repetitive because it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over that we're going to be working with. All right. Now, so with that said, we just go ahead and just do the substitution. it is
Actually,
important. Go ahead.
sir, when I look at art, based on how Emilio deduced how to work it out, how to just guess it, looking at the actual function, you have 2x squared in the front right there. You know, at the end of the bottom of it, you're going to actually have an answer that is double the 2, so it'll be 4x. I think 4x, yeah, 4x. And then where it says plus 5 in the center, we know it's going to end up to be not plus 5x, but plus 5 based on just looking at it, because you're going to put in something to take it back out. So essentially, I think by looking at it, you can tell what the answer is going to be. But I know you need the working out, so I try my best to grasp the working out, and I think I have. Thanks.
Very good.
I see it. You see anything you tell me when we guess the answer then.
Very good.
You remember that's when you
answer.
You need to show me the working out. Yes, sir.
Please allow me to just reinforce or reiterate that point to the class. So whether or not you are able to see the answer at the get-go, you will get naught for trying if it is that I'm not seeing my steps. Very, very important that you see my steps, that I must see those steps. All right? But one of the things, though, let me hasten to say that I've been teaching this course for quite a while now, and not many grouping of students will be able to, without me going through the other areas of differentiation, will be able upfront to see a parallel between the question and the answer.
Yeah.
And what it says to me is that this group is destined for greatness. And I'm not being facetious. I'm being very honest, because I know there are other people in the class who would have seen the stuff. One or two may not have seen it, but don't worry about it. When I show you, you may have an aha moment. All right. So Tashana gets it, Amelia gets it, but them don't know how them get it. But them can see it.
No, I know how I got it, sir.
No, I know how you get it, but you see, remember last class I said to Emilio, what is the X cube? But him said, sir, don't answer that, because I know it becomes difficult at that point in time.
You said, I don't want the more I work out it. How we are going that more?
Me know, right? So
you know you work out that one. They know me gonna start against them now.
Absolutely. So what is happening is that it is very. I mean, I am pretty pleased with the class, because even if it's one person in the class can come up and then say something, and then you have that sort of domino effect taking place where the other students can see this. It says to me that this class is destined to be doing very well. Now I have 20 mashup on almost 2 dozen up on. We don't want dozen and a half pass or dozen and 3/4.
Well, all of us.
Everybody get past the chorus. All right, let's go. So before I even let the puss out of the bag, let me ask. I decided to give you a negative one. Do me a favor. I'm going to ask you to give an attempt of this negative one, number 6 here, and I'm going to give you about no more than 5 minutes, and then I will come back and work the question. Yes, please.
Sir, when you said -1 question, is it number 7 you're referring to, or number 8?
No, number 6. Number 6.
Number 6 has negative
when I say
4.
-1, the coefficient of x squared is negative. Yeah, I've never done one with you like that, but don't worry about it. It works in a similar fashion. So I'm going to work the question. Then we're going to have a conversation. So do me a favor, write the question down so that I can project. Oh, but you have the notes that I sent out.
The paper that you sent out, the recent one, I don't think I opened that one just yet.
All right, just write up the question so that I can project this one here.
All right.
So write the question off.
Sir, don't start doing that yet.
No.
X is equal to negative x squared plus 2x.
You said we should attempt the question, sir?
Okay, thanks, honey.
Okay.
All right, so in the back of my mind, based on the principle that we discussed a while ago,
yeah, let me know
I would say the answer would be -8x plus 2.
Okay, and you'll be correct. But do me a favor now.
Work it out. Okay.
Work it and see if you get the -8x plus 2. Very good. All right. So while you're working, I am going to be working myself, but I'm not working so that you can see it. I'm going to be working in a different document so that
One Tashana get you tricky,
No, I
Yeah,
had I
man, she
saw it
get
before. Come again. Wheel and come again. It's just to me
she
realize
get
that
it,
me
man.
talk too much. Everybody go jump on me, so me stop talk long time. All
Yeah,
right.
man. So she catch it, man. I'm proud of her, man. She catch it, man. The rest of them must catch it something too, you know. Sure. All right. Let me just talk
So we are
here.
that. Make sure you not delete that one there.
No. I'm just trying to copy this workout. All right. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Let me just on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We're still seeing your screen.
All right. So is that okay, or you want to see the whole question? Is it okay from that point? You know the. All right. No, hold on, because I want to see the formula.
The formula, right?
All right. So oh, come on.
Yeah, man. That
All right,
is
so
good
that's the
enough.
whole.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Good. All right. Good. Breathing. I'm gonna mute. I am actually sitting here. Are you still seeing the screen?
Yes, sir. As long as you don't go sleep, sir.
No. I'm actually working the question so that when you finish, I can project it. No, man, I'm going to be engaged. I'll be alert. Thank you.
Okay, sir. All right. Thanks.
Tashana.
Nobody finished? Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Did you say the answer was minus 8x plus 2?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Excellent. All right, the rest of you continue working. I give you a few more minutes, please.
Thanks, sir. Okay, so I finished working it out. And I got the same answer, negative 8x plus 2.
Very good, very good. What about the others? Waiting on you, Shackleford, Marlene, Ophelia, Priscilla, Ricky, Romaine, Sutanya, Sidonie, Kaje, Tamoya, Jason, Hugh.
Last two step, but it's basically the same.
All right, very
It's
good,
the same
Papa.
thing.
Very good, very good. JD, Joan.
This well concrete, sir.
Not wow. Very nice. I'm happy. I'm not going to do the other one. Mr. Cole is going to do the X cube one. I need to move into the other thing. Priscilla, can you unmute for me, please? Priscilla, can you unmute for me, please? Ricky, can you unmute for me, please?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, man, wait, Papa. How is it going?
I got the same answer as Tashana
Mm-hmm.
did. But
Mm-hmm.
sir, I would want to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to get the answer 2 minus 8x. Would that still be correct?
Very good. And that's the point I was trying to make to JD earlier when she asked something. And I just need to look at what it is that she's seeing there because it shouldn't make a difference. What Ricky is saying, guys, is that the how I would write the answer to be negative 8x plus 2. But he's saying, what if I put the answer as 2 minus 8x? It would be the same thing. So yes, Ricky,
Okay.
very good. Very good,
Because
Ricky.
that is what I got. So when Tashana was saying, I was a bit confused.
Yeah, man, very good. That's fine. Perfect. Nice. Romain, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, sir.
How you stay?
I kind of, sir, Jesus.
Don't. All right. While he sorts out his background, so Tanya, unmute and talk to teacher. And I hope you're not eating tonight.
Sir, sorry about that, sir.
Yeah, man, that's all right. Yeah. So you're saying something. How is it feeling?
I just wanted I'm to go over it just one more time. I'm not fully getting it as in, but
okay.
Trying to go over it again.
Yeah, fair enough. No problem. So Tanya,
Sir,
how you stay?
not 100 yet, but kind of.
All right. There's a reason. Priscilla, can you unmute for me, please? And Priscilla, I'm going to tell you straight up now. If you don't answer me this time, I'm putting you in the waiting room. Straight up. Priscilla? Okay, so you're not in my class. I'll put you in the waiting room.
Sir, my issue is signs. So based on not using the correct signs where they're supposed to go, then that shows off the answer.
It definitely will.
Hold on.
It definitely will. So you have to be careful of your signs. You must be careful of your signs. If you're not careful of the signs, you're going to have problems. Real talk.
I think most of us just need to remember, sir, that a negative times a negative gives you a positive, and a negative times a positive gives you a negative. That rule, if they can remember that, then can't go wrong.
Yes, and Matthew, I hear you say that is the same problem you have too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You have to make sure, guys, that you have this thing packed. Hear me out. For the mid-semester, the question may come for anywhere between 5, 6, 7, 8, in as many as 10 marks. You don't want to give none of them marks here because the marks are easy marks to catch. And remember, the aim is to always try to do good on your mid-semester. Should in case the final paper comes in a way that you fall down on your face, brooks, at least you'll have your good mid-semester to help you cushion. I've seen people go in with very good coursework grade and fall down on the exam, get 45%, barely get a 50% on the exam, and still come out with a B minus or a B. You understand? So the aim is to catch the mid-semester at a point where you can maximize your marks. All right, I'm going to try 2 more. Joan, unmute for me, please. And the reason I'm doing this exercise is because I recognize that the questions are not coming in, but we're teaching way too long to be fools that everybody is understanding. Yes, Joan, talk to teacher.
Sure, still not there yet, but I'm trying. Didn't catch all of the class last week, Tuesday, Thursday, so still trying to catch up.
All right. But Joan,
Sure.
I'm upset. You know I'm upset, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you I'm upset with you. Not just you alone, you know, but anybody else in the class. You see, if you're sitting in the class and not understanding, okay, so you may not be the one who will answer all the questions. But the moment I'm doing something that you're not catching, please,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to stop me. Joan, let me, Mr. Shan, get annoyed at you and say, Lord Jesus, Joan, you not understanding something. And guess what? Mr. Shan will never ever say that. He will never ever say that. If I feel that you are missing something that you are holding up the class, I would either send you a private message and say to you, link me. Me and you need to have a conversation. But I don't want you, and I'm only talking to you, you know, but I'm speaking to everybody else. If you're not understanding something, please don't let me. I know that I'm not fooled because a long time I teach, trust me. So me know, say, me can't teach a concept and everybody in the class catch it. It's impossible. All right? So I want you to speak up. All right, Moni?
Okay,
all
sir.
right, good, no problem. All of it. You can mute again. All right, good. So that exercise that I just did, guys, is to really bring across my point. It's important that you speak to me. I need to know. So even if you catch it fully or you're not catching it fully, we want to hear it. Boys, sir, hear the plan. I am understanding. I'm getting there. Not fully there, sir, but how you get this? Ask me a question, man. Me know why you come out of class and not have the something part.
Sir, man, me have it lacking, sir, but you are the problem, no, man. So we exam and the time I run, at them time days come like time is not come like I look on all the time and the boy has the 2 hours, but come like a 2 minute yes when you work the question, you know. I understand. See, I work it now all right now, you know, me I tell you, you feel all right and things, but it's in the exam, sir. Different atmosphere, man. As in the time, man, and your friend in the exam, man.
And you say everybody all right, you have nothing to write down.
I write and time I click, you see me?
You know,
connect.
I'm going to tell you, just on, hear me out. And this is not a diss, you know. It's something I'm going to tell you me learn for myself. You understand? Instead of going to an exam, I mean, I know we're doing an online exam, right? But, you know, I know at some point in time, we are going to be returning to the face-to-face modality. So when you want exam, stay in your lane. Tunnel vision. Don't look upon nobody because you don't know if the person write them name several times. And you may say, blow, oh, Christopher, someone something for write. And I mean, Christopher studied. Christopher could be writing Christopher Shackelford, and you think that Christopher had the word. It used to happen to me a lot. And I said, blow, but Jesus, him always answer question in the class and him well bright. Me blank, you know. I mean, sit down in the exam and I watch who write. I mean, I do not miss it. Oh no, can't happen. So you know what to do? Just focus on you. But what is also important, think of something that you do well, Papa. Just think of something that you do very well. And you know, the only reason you can say that you do it very well is because you have done it over and over and over. This could mean you cutting the lawn, nobody don't have to tell you how to do that because you have that pot. It could be cooking a meal. You're not have to looking on a cookbook because you have that pot. You know you're supposed to put salt in the pot. You don't have to say, okay, where's the measuring cup? Or the measuring, or the teaspoon, or the tablespoon. You know what a pinch of salt is, and you know what a dash of salt is. And when you put in a pinch or a dash, it comes out perfect. So you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to practice. You can't just see it one time and say, yeah, I understand that one time. And no, do the question out 5 times and make sure you catch it locked, right? As I said before, me, the teacher, know when students have it locked in, and there are ways, I won't tell you, but there are ways I know when students truly are understanding versus when students are not truly understanding. And that's why I did the little exercise I did just now, because I really want you guys to talk up to me. All right. Now, I really wanted to move on, but based on the exercise I just did, it does not make sense for me to say that I am there when really I'm not there. I know time is of the essence. This is week 5. Time is of the essence. Time is running. But allow me to project.
Always week 12 for mid semester, sir.
As I said before, your mid-semester paper is already written. I mean, I really took lost some sleep to just get that thing sorted out. Um, you can, as I said before, everything we've done so far is 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 there. Your limits question, the different types that we've done. This is their average rate of change. As a matter of fact, you are now ready for the mid-semester because I don't think I gave you anything beyond this point for the mid-semester. So I can tell you the mid-semester is going to contain limits and of course the different types. Um, and you know what the different types are: infinity,
And the negative
polynomial,
infinity.
and the negative infinity, right? And the rational functions, etc., etc. Average rate of change, first principles differentiation, right? So all of those are there. So anytime now you can get the mid semester, but I won't give you the mid semester this week. That much I can tell you. So,
sir, how many questions are there in your mid semester?
Ricky, I wish I could tell you. I can tell you, but I don't want to open up that document now. Let's not go make mistakes and go share the screen. Yes, please.
So Mary Dobson in the chat said, "Sir, please can you go over one more time?"
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I keep I keep not checking the chat, you know. All right, so
I realize that because you're explaining stuff you didn't see, sir.
Yeah. Please, guys. I really want you to communicate. I know some people can't talk. I really want you to communicate, but sure, Romain. I'm just seeing these messages. Sure, Romain. Marie, I will definitely do that for you, hon. Somebody sent something to me. I can't read that one. But of Bath. All right, and McHugh, you and I need to have a conversation. Okay, all right. So I cleared the chat. All right.
I'm not hearing my message yet.
No, I know. I'm saying that. I saw it. I saw it. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go, guys. So as I said, I was doing the question at the same time you were doing it because I didn't want to be spending time to do the question while that is happening. So Marie, here goes an opportunity, honey, to see what it is that Teacher Shand would have done. And I'm going to ask that the rest of you, those who are following, still look to it and tell me where I went wrong because I did this pretty quickly so I could make a sign change mistake. So just look at it and hold me accountable. All right. And for those of you who are not understanding, whether fully or partially, just pay some attention for me, please. Just pay some attention. All right, let's go. So the question is, f of x is equals to negative 4x squared plus 2x plus 7. Why, sir? You've never given a negative one before, and not a problem. Hear me out, students. I don't teach by giving questions. I teach concepts. What are concepts, sir? Not a fact. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Let me just drop in one here. Let me drop in one here because I don't want to forget. Two x plus 3. For that. 5x plus 1 minus 1. All right. You can be given a question to do with something similar to that, like a rational function of that nature, using the first principles. So I'd want to work one of those. So after I finish this one, then together we're going to be working one of those. All right, fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one's going to be, that one's going to be a little rough, but never mind. All right, where am I? I'm right here. So, yes, I know I have never given you or done one with the coefficient of x squared negative. It's not a problem. if you follow the same rules, if you follow the same steps, just remember, I hear some of you talk about the signs. Just be consistent. When you multiply two negative signs, you get a positive. When you multiply two positive signs, you get a positive. So one of the things that I keep saying to students is, when you are multiplying and the signs are the same, your result will be positive. When you are multiplying and the signs are different, your signs will be negative. That is, when I multiply two negative numbers, I get a positive number. When I multiply two positive numbers, I get a positive number. But when I multiply a positive number to a negative number, or a negative number to a positive number, the result will always be negative. Just remember that. All right? Just remember that. All right, let's go. So it is the limit as h tends to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. The limit as h tends to 0 of f of x minus h of f of x plus h all squared minus f of x all over h. Forgive me, I am multitasking and just getting myself confused. All right, so you must know the formulation, and having gotten the formulation, we will just go ahead and do the calculations accordingly. So what the question says is, or what is required of us is, every time you write x, we have to put a plus h to it. Every time we write an x, we have to put a plus h to it. Let me just annotate here so that you guys see what it is that I'm talking about. So this is minus 4x squared. Yes, please.
Before you go any further, could you skip down to 1, 2, that line where you multiply, was it a negative by the positive and put back a positive?
Or this is supposed to be
negative 4x. Yeah, it's supposed to be negative 2x right there, sir.
I have negative 2x.
No, sir. Oh, is the other line I was looking at? Sorry, go ahead. The top one, yeah, it's there. Thanks.
It's there. Yeah, man. Cool. Thanks. All right. So look at this now. So every time I put an x, I'm going to write a plus h. So it's going to be negative 4 open bracket x plus h all squared. See it so? So all of this here, this x plus h is my x right here. And then plus 2, so the plus 2 here, this is a plus 2. See our x here is going to be x plus h. See it so? X plus h. Plus 7, so why no x plus h? Because there was no x here originally. Then we have minus, and then we're going to minus the whole function f of x. So when the minus the whole function f of x is going to be minus all of this. Negative 4 x squared plus 2x plus 7. See it yourself? Sir, why always put in brackets? Because this negative sign, right, that negative sign right here, so it governs everything inside here. Not just the first term, but all the 3 terms it governs inside here. So I must have those terms being multiplied by the negative sign. If it is not multiplied by the negative signs, they will not be able to cancel out. They will not be able to cancel out, because it means that, remember, you put it in first and then you're taking it out. So I have to have this negative sign, and this negative sign must be distributed among these terms in there correctly before anything happens. If not, do the water. All right.
Not only that, sir, you explained that where that negative is, where we have to put that negative sign before the function, it is technically a negative 1. So if you're going to multiply everything by negative 1, you shouldn't go wrong at all.
Very good. Excellent. Thanks for remembering. So it is actually negative 1 that we're multiplying by. All right. And I still put this recall here because I want you to always remember that when I'm multiplying, I'm distributing all of this. It's going to be x times x to give me x squared, x times h to give me hx, this h times this x to give me another hx, and h times h to give me h squared. And I have just one x squared in here, so I put it back. I have one h squared in here, I put it back. But these 2 terms are similar. One is 1hx and another 1hx. So when I add them together, I get 2hx. All right. So what if I put 2xh? It will be the same thing? Yes, same difference. Right? What we normally do in mathematics is writing chronological order, alphabetical order, numeric order, right? So I wouldn't put XH because H comes before X in the alphabet. So it's just a rule of thumb in mathematics that we write in chronological order, alphabetic order, etc., etc. All right, so let's go. But if you wrote XH and gave it to me, I would not mark it wrong because technically it's the same thing. All right, let's continue. So now that I know that x plus h all squares is the same thing as x squared plus 2hx plus h squared, I'm just going to substitute this x plus h all squares for all of this here in blue, and I get it right here. So look at this x squared plus 2hx plus h squared to see if it's the same thing here. X squared plus 2hx plus h squared. Same exact thing. All right. And then now there's going to be plus 2. So I'm writing back everything else that is here. Writing back everything else here, down here. Then now I'm able to just remove all the brackets. So I'm going to have -4. Let me go up. I'm going to have -4 multiplied by x squared to give me -4x squared right here. Then I'm going to have -4 times a positive 2hx. Remember, when I'm multiplying and the signs are different, I'm going to get a negative sign. So -4 times 2 is a -8. So it's going to be -8hx. And this -4 times a 1h squared is going to give me -4h squared, which is right here. Now that I've distributed this -4 over everything inside this parentheses, I'm going to move on to my next term, which is 2. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times h is 2h. Finish with that, arrive at my plus 7, and then now I'm doing this final distribution. -1 times a -4x all, but sir says, when I'm multiplying and the signs are the same, I'm going to get a positive number. Or when I'm multiplying two negative numbers together, I'm going to get a positive number. So this -1 right here, multiplied by this -4, is going to give me a positive 4. And of course, I arrive at my x squared, and -1 times a positive 2x is going to give me a -2x. And this -1 times a positive 7 is going to give me a -7. And now it is that all these three terms must be able to cancel out. So the 4x squared when cancel out with a -4x squared. See that so? Bam, bam. This -2x is going to cancel with this positive 2x. See that so? Bam, bam. And then this -7 will cancel out with this positive 7. Bam, bam. Then, sir, what of them can cancel out? It means that you would have done something wrong. Because every one of them, HEVRY, one of them, supposed to cancel out.
The function, sir. Emphasis on the function. Everything on the right is the function.
Is the function. So the whole. So remember, you're putting in something, and you're taking out the whole function from it. So every bit of the Jackman, them the function must be able to come out. If you left any one of them inside here, so you know you're wrong. If one of them can't cancel out, please stop, go back, look at what it is that you would have done, because it means they did something wrong. Just be mindful. You see, trust me, when I learned this at school, my teacher didn't take so much time and go through all of them something. We have to learn it.
That's why I have to give thanks to you, sir. Marie, you're looking Marie, right?
Yes, Marie. You may not be able to talk.
Yes,
You're catching it. You're catching it. All right, good job. All right, let's go. So when it cancels out them something, all that you're left is going to be -8hx, which is this one here, minus 4h squared, which is this one here, and one next one, 2h, right? So now we not finish it, because we still not find the limit yet, Then, sir, why would they have to write it? Because you are telling the man that you are finding the limits, but all you're doing is simplifying the function first. Imagine, I'm a gene. You have to go find the limits to all of them ugly something here, so. Not even me can do it. Me, I work and I simplify the something. Me still I tell the people, them say, I intend to find the limit of this function, but I'm simplifying the function. I intend to find the limit of this function, so I'm simplifying the function. And you see, every step I take, every move I make, I am getting smaller and smaller and smaller until I'm getting something that is workable now. So, we retry it so, then I go say to myself, so, but hold on. H come on here, so, and H come on here, so. Our next H come on here, so I'm going to take out the H now because if I take out one H, so all of this cancel out, so we no longer have a fractional stuff. no longer have a fractional stop. So you factor out the h, and you factor out the h, you have negative 8x. When you factor out another h, you have negative 4 left.
1h left.
And then now, yes, so, and right. And when you factor out the h from this, you have plus 2 here. And then all these two h's can now cancel. So guess what? The question becomes even easier to work out, because all you now have is going to be the limit as h tends to 0 of negative 8x minus 4h plus 2, which is what it is that you have here.
And that's when you start using the 0.
And this is when you know finding the limits. Very good. Right. This is when you know finding the limits. So you substituted the function, the 0 into the function. So you're going to have negative 8x minus 4 times 0. So where you get the 0 from? See, so h tends to 0, h tends to 0. Remember, no, we're using the calculation method. So it says h tends to 0, but we are going to assume that h is equal to 0. So we're putting h equals 0. Then we get rid of this. All of this goes. So all I now have is a limit as h tends to 0 of negative 8x plus 2. Right here, so. And I'm now finding the ultimate limit. The final time I'm going to find the limit. Final time.
Wait. Hold on. And if I get the part where you cancel out the h them, or you get to the part there again. Repeat that little section.
In fact, h is common here.
Yeah, from this one, right.
H is common here. I have one h right here, so I have two h's right here, and I have one more h.
One h is right.
So it means that h is common in the numerator.
Right.
So since h is common in the numerator, I'm going to factor out the h.
Oh, so you put it outside and then factor the rest.
Yeah, man. So
all right. That I couldn't understand.
Yeah. So I'm factoring out the h.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Just to point out, sir, where you have the red spot there, this function as you see it up there is the same thing as what we put the h on the outside, is that it's written a different way. Because if you times h by h times negative 8x, you're going to get negative 8. The same thing that you have up here, negative 8hx. So it's the same thing. If you actually times the negative 4h, you would get negative 4h squared. And if you times the 2, you'd get 2h. So it's just written simplified, factorized.
Yeah, man.
Sir.
Yes.
Why omit the 4h down the bottom where you have the 40? Why you just get rid of that? Because that's where I stuck when I was working on the question.
Because the limit is h to going to 0. They put in the 0 where the h is.
After you cancel out all the h's that are there, you get left with 4h in the center. That is the third to last. We have negative 8x minus 4h plus 2. That h represents 0 because the limit h tends, it approaches 0.
Right.
So we substitute out any h at that point, because it's the simplest form of this equation. You simply replace h with 0 and then you work it out from there. So you know 4 times 0, negative 4 times 0 is 0. So you end up with negative 8.
Okay, me get no Tashana.
All right.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sir, question. I did everything right, but I didn't remember what to do when I simplify the numbers. I think step. Sir, scroll up, please. Right there. Wait. The third one, sir. The third step, right? No, below that. Right. I wrote that, but I cancel it out. So I didn't have a separate one to cancel it. Will I lose a mark?
All right. Tell me what
I did the same thing she just said, sir.
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Sir, I put 3 and 4 together.
Okay, so you never use this step, you just move directly to this step.
Me too, sir.
Basically.
Yeah. No, remember, no. Remember, no.
Lose marks for that too, sir?
No. I teach, you know. So what I want to do is drop anything. I'm doing it step by step.
Okay.
Because let's go. This is a must-have. Do you agree that this step is a must-have?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I don't have to put this step in.
No, that is just you just explaining the top step.
Right. This step is a must-have though. Don't you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Good. The other step is a must-have because I show the expansion, don't?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That step is optional, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Cancel it out. No, you still have to cancel it out.
No, man. In terms of
still optional.
I could use this step up here. What I'm saying to you.
Go to the step after that step.
Right. So is it this piece where the spotlight is? I don't have to write this down. Okay. So pretty much what I'm saying to you, I could delete this step then.
Right. That step is optional. That's what I was saying, sir.
Right.
The one below it is not.
Right. So that step is optional. All right. This step is important, don't?
Very much so, sir.
This step is also important, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Good. And that step could be optional, don't it?
Could be, yes, because we have
because
to show,
right.
you could we change out the age to 0.
Very good. You could have just put it in right here, so don't.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. And then that is it. So I get 2 optional steps. No, let me tell you the reason I do it. Because I want you guys to see it. I want you guys to see it. Because you know what me do them question here? Is it because me overfactorize in my head? And that's why we teach you pre-calculus incidentally, so you can get to the stage where we're at. Most of those stuff, I don't, when I'm doing it, I don't write it. Because
you know what are good, sir? Like how you have the paper, like how you have it step by step, you put which steps you
No, I will tell you why. I want you to go through it and understand it and tell me where it is that you know what is what and make that decision. So the decision is yours to make.
It is true.
Yeah, man.
All right,
the decision is yours to make. All right, good. So that one is that. All right. Rockstone. All right. I'm gonna stay true to my words. We have 6 minutes. All right. Let me see if I can do this in.
Sir, do the fraction one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna see if I can do the fraction one in 6 minutes.
That's one thing with examiners, sir. Square root you find in it, and then my head get confused and say, "But sir, I want my head get jitty in exam."
Yeah, man. I just start chip to him and say,
real meds.
Him come a class and then Christopher go say, him come a class and the man teach nothing like this,
At the X grade one, me why you do see me?
That's what I mean. Rockstone. What did I do right here? No, man, I just got that one day. All right, let me just fix up.
No, man, not do that, sir. Me can't do that. That's a man.
There is no can't in this class. You can. All right, let's go. Now, it's the same thing between, f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Now, anytime I write my x, let us say if we follow the same thing. You remember I said to you, anytime I write my x.
You add plus h to it,
plus h. Okay, good. Sorry, I have to be deleting. So this one is going to be, that one is going to be, sorry. You already get me. This is 1 over h. Let me just put that right here. 1 over h. 1 over h. And then that's 1 over h. So this is going to become now 5x plus h, don't it?
Yes, sir.
And then minus 1, don't?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Over
and then 2.
Open bracket x plus h, close bracket plus 3.
Very good. X plus h, close bracket, plus 3. And then now, what do I do? It says f of x plus h minus f of x, don't?
Yes, sir.
So I now need to minus my f of x, don't? And what is f of x?
F of x is
5x over 1.
5x minus 1.
5x minus 1.
Minus 1 over 2x plus 3.
All right. Watch me. Do you agree with what it is that I just typed right there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good job. All right. So
hold on with the all over h there.
CTR put it as 1 over 8.
Oh, 1 over 8. Oh, yes, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you recognize that the H is still in the denominator?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what is going on. Where is
Yeah. Let me change.
Sir, how you have it written, there's supposed to be another line underneath all of that with the H
Same difference. But all I did, let me just write it here like this.
All him do is put it in a fraction wise.
Right. So it's not so confusing.
Right. So I put it like that, but really and truly, I can write it as 1 over H, just like this here,
still a fraction,
so that it doesn't confuse. Right. So it doesn't confuse it. But I want to show you that the H is here and then it moves like this. It's the same difference. Reason being, because I have to now go and find the LCM right here, so I don't want to confuse you. All right. So I am gonna. Oh, come on! Don't do this to me now, Sir Shand. What's the LCM? Let me see if you guys are thinking. What's the LCM?
Lowest common multiple.
Yeah, but tell me what the LCM is in this case.
2x plus 3.
Nope.
X plus 8.
Nope.
8 minus 7.
I don't believe you know. Like seriously, like you know what? I forgot for the up to 9 o'clock, so we can't teach now.
No, sir. No, sir. The vagueness that we're talking about. I know it's so familiar about everything, sir. There are some mongrel next door make up noise. If I can't hear them, I swear.
All right. Look to see if you agree with this. I don't know the numerator yet, but look to see if you agree with this LCM. Remember, these two things are different things. So you have to have both of them in the denominator as your lowest common multiple. So the LCM is going to be 2 times x plus h plus 3 times 2x plus 3. And then watch me now.
2x plus 3, but the whole height at the LCM.
At the whole height at the LCM, yeah. So how many? Watch me. And forgive me. I'm going to go a little bit over 9 o'clock because I just want to finish this question. Yeah, man. Right.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
All right. So watch me here now. 2x plus h plus 3 times 2x plus 3. How many times? So this is my LCM. I'm telling you now. How many times can this term go into all of this term? It means because this term and this term are the same, it cancels out, so it goes in this times. Catch it?
Yes, sir.
So this into this goes 2x plus 3 times. All right? So it's going to be 2x plus 3 times 5x. Thingy bob. So let me just.
You mean like cross multiply, sir?
Yeah. It's just like you find in the LCM.
Okay.
It's going to be 2x plus 3. It's going to be 2x plus 3 times 5 open bracket x plus h minus 1. And then the other one is going to
cross multiply, so hold on. It must cross multiply, so hold on. Another 5 bracket x plus h come first, you know. So may I see I put the 2x plus 3 first, because
same difference. What is 2 times 3?
All right.
6. And what is 3 times 2? 6. Same difference, Papa. So this 2 times x plus h plus 3 goes into this denominator 2x plus 3 times. So it's going to be 2x plus 3 times this numerator, which is all of this here. Similarly, this 2x plus 3 goes into this denominator this times. So it's going to be 5x minus 1. It's going to be 5x minus 1. I know this is
that one get very confusing.
Yeah, man. But
don't worry about long time, sir.
Don't worry about it.
The one over the H, me lost.
Don't worry about it. We're going to find our way back home. 2 times x plus h. You see, this is your plus 3. Your algebra have to be up there. All right, work with me now. Let me put it in. Then I put it in square brackets because all of this becomes all of that. All right, work with me now. Spotlight, 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 spotlight.
Sir, from me find the denominator, right? I'm confused how you got the numerator.
Just don't worry about it. So question now.
Okay.
Everybody.
Sir, I have a question. Is the answer 10x divided by 2?
No. Aha. Let us
All
go with
right.
that one. Aha. Look at me here. Watch me here now. Watch me. Watch me here. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees with the denominator here, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody in the class that disagrees with the denominator?
Do not push my table.
Yeah, I swear but just cross multiply forget the numerator. That be so
yes.
the 5x 5 no the 2x.
The 5 times x plus h minus 1 is going to be multiplied by the 2x plus 3. You see that?
Right.
Right. And
Only
then the
thing I
5
did differently was that
you put the
first.
You put the 5x plus h first?
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. No problem. You know what I should do? You may see it a little clearer doing like that. Marie, you know, I like when you so silent, you know, Marie.
That may I explain to you, man. Because I say, oh, we learn the cross button to play. We are putting harder like how we are doing it.
All right. Okay. All right. So you see, because no, it again say so. 2 times 3 6 and 3 times 3 6. On a grown up now, and not eat no more bottle feed. On start eat dumpling and banana. Come, let's go. Let's go. So the denominator is going to be 2x plus 3 times 2 open bracket x plus h plus 3. So it's the two terms that are being multiplied together. So I'm going to have it down here. Very, very important. And you'll see why it becomes important for next class. You'll see come next class when I move into another law. Well, when I move into the laws of the laws of differentiation, the rules for differentiation. All right. So watch me. So I'm saying to you, this 2 times x plus h plus 3 into all of this goes 2x plus 3 times, because the 1 here and the 1 here cancel out and it left this. So it's going to be 2x plus 3 times all of up here. So it's going to have it 2x plus 3 times all of what is in the numerator on this left hand side. Similarly, I'm saying 2x plus 3 into all of this. And I'm going to say to you that it goes in it. This cancels this. So it goes in it 2 times x plus h plus 3 times. And this is what I'm going to be multiplied by the 5x minus 1. And that's why I have it up there like that. Of course, I must be separated by my negative sign. All right? Then no. What I must now do is to do some fixing up of this thing. Because this 5, that 5 in the middle, me no want it to get squashed. Is you sitting betwixt two big somebodies and they're going to squash you. So you're the plan, you put me out at the end. So look at what I'm doing. Let me just show you what I'm doing, because this could be optional. REARRANGE, rearranging to give. All right, so I'm rearranging. Sir, what you just did a while ago? That little skinny person here, so they're between two big persons. Somebody just put him up front.
Sir, and I see him like now on last work, you know, to move the age. And
It
put the age there so we can see.
Rockstone. Thanks. Because you see me, I'm going on and forget about my age. Go see my question wrong tonight. And then only laugh off me and say, could a teacher you? Thank you.
mean to say that. Well done, you.
You'll get an extra 1%. And whenever we have many brackets, we use different style brackets to show the different operations that are being done. All right. So I must have my 1/h because remember all of the question, every time you do the question, remember all the question that we did before, we have divided by h, divided by h, divided by h until we got rid of that h. True or false?
True.
So it's the same procedure, it's just that this one knows going to require a little bit more algebra, but it's the same procedure. Just a little bit more algebra, same procedure. Let's go. Let's go. So now, Lord, sir, that means I forgot to do all of the multiplication here. Yes, please. But Rockstone, undo, copy. Yes, please. You have to go through all of this multiplication now. So look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 2x times x is 2x squares. 2x times x is 2x squares. And 2x times h is 2hx. So that will be plus 2hx. And then 3 times x is going to be 3x. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times h is 2hx. Then 3 times x is 3x plus 3x. And then 3 times h is plus 3h plus 3h. All I'm doing there is just to do my multiplication. Watch what I just did a while ago. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times x is 2x squared. Then I'm going to say the same 2x times h is 2hx. I finish the 2x, multiply by everything in this bracket, and boom, that's have to work my brackets first before I can even work this minus sign, and before I can even do this to times 5. So I'm going to say 3 times x is going to be 3x, and then 3 times h is going to be 3h. So now I'm finished with that. But I have another multiplication to do over here, so let me do that multiplication first. 5 times x. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times h is going to be 5hx. So that's going to be plus 5hx. Now I'm finished with the 5x, and then I'm going to say 1 times x is just x, and then 1 times h is just h. So I would have now completed that level of multiplication, right? Let's go. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times h is 5hx. Finish with the 5x, so we move to the 1. 1 times x is just x, and 1 times h is just h. All right? Let me copy this, paste this down here, so, and then show you what is going to happen now. Now I'm going to distribute the 5. So 5 times 2x. 5 times 2 is going to be 10x squares. So that becomes 10x squares. And 5 times 2 again is going to be 10hx. And 5 times 3 is 15, so it's going to be 15x. And 5 times 3 is going to be 15h. All right? And similarly, 2 times 5 is going to be 10x. 2 times 5 is another 10hx. And 2 times that is going to be 2x and then 2h. So all I'm doing is just distributing. So look at what I have up top here. 5 times 2x squares is 10x squares. 5 times 2hx is 10hx. 5 times 3 is 15, and another 3 again is 15, but one is 15x and the other is 15h. I still can't touch the negative one yet. Eh? And then 2 times 5x squares is going to give me 10x squares. And 2 times 5hx is going to be 10hx. And then 2 times x, of course, is 2x, and 2 times h is 2h. Now I can remove my parentheses and include my 1. So what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be doing is just removing the parentheses. And as I told you before, I am doing it step by step so that when you get the document, when you get the document, I am not missing any steps. You're actually seeing all the steps. You notice that I don't touch the denominator. You notice I don't touch the 1/h. Not interested in touching those, right? So again, now I'm going to copy that one and I'm going to paste it right here, so because we still have this little piece to work out. I know it's long, but I just want to go through it so you can see it and play around with it. Okay, sir. So now that you have the stuff, sir, what you can do now is to multiply all of this here by the negative sign, so you can just get rid of the stuff. So when I multiply here by there, negative 1 times 10 is going to give me a negative 10x squares minus 10hx minus a 2x minus a 2h minus a 3. All right. So I am removing all of those, and this is what I'm going to end up with. So every time you do one of these operations, you're actually getting a smaller term. You're getting a smaller term. All right, so look at what I did. So the first piece, the 10x squared plus 10hx plus 15x plus 15h minus 1, I'm going to write back as that. Then I'm using this negative sign, just as we did in the other one. Just as we did in the other one, I'm going to be distributing this negative 1 over everything here, so it becomes negative 10x squared, see it here so. And it will become negative 10hx, see it right here so. Then it becomes negative 2x, see it right here so. Negative 2h, see it right here so. Negative 3, see it right here so. Right? And then a few of you saying that, sir, you know that we can't skip out a step, you know.
You're going to cancel it out now, sir.
Very good. So if you see it here so, what is going to happen is that I can cancel out my 10x squared. Oopsie daisy. I can cancel out my 10x squares. My 10x squares can be cancelled out. The positive 10x squares with the negative 10x squares.
Yeah, 10hx can cancel out though.
Which one can cancel out, you say? 10hx?
10hx, yeah.
All right. 10hx can cancel. You want to tell me if you agree with Emilia, no?
No. You have a positive one, I have a negative one, so no.
So the positive one and the negative one can cancel out. We're talking about
Everyone, you cancel out.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, them can cancel.
Yeah, man, he can't see it out. Emilia, we are talking about. You get nervous from me calling him a while ago. Come on.
Plus our negatives.
They start pick for me, get PG.
All right. Look and see if anything else can cancel out.
No.
No, sir.
Nothing else can cancel out, but it can do a little addition, don't?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
As in your group, the 15x and the minus 2x.
The 15x and the 15h, you can get 30hx.
No, bro.
No, man, the h and the h and the x and the x.
Hush. Sleep, yeah, sleep. Yeah.
Charlotte is right. 15x plus
minus 2x.
Minus 2x rather.
And 15h minus 2h or something like that.
All right. You know what I'm doing? I'm taking out all of that. Because I want you to see exactly what I'm doing, so I'm not skipping any steps. So 15x minus 2x is going to give me 13x, don't?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Going to give me 13x. So I'm going to take out the minus 2x.
And 15h minus 2h give you 13h.
13h. So let me take out this. And then a 1 minus 3 is going to give me minus 4, don't?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, minus 1 from?
Minus 4.
I know. Wait. A negative. I'm putting on the calculator. Can we not separate it? A negative 1.
Minus 4. Give you minus 3. Sorry, give you a negative 4.
Yes.
Oh, so a negative 3 got me here 4 now. So that
Nah,
me off a while ago, you know.
Nah, man, negative 3 toes.
See it up there, up top.
Okay.
But that one is long, sir, like trade. Nah, like.
Yeah, but
it's necessary. Nah, man, that's our word, man. It's necessary.
It is necessary, but I can tell you I'm missing I'm missing an age somewhere. Because I can't know what the answer is. I'm missing an age. All right, let me just show you what is happening here. This age, you have to be very careful of this age because you can't then say as age tends to 0 and just put this equals to 0 because this age is in the denominator. And if you put this equals to 0, you multiply everything here so and give you 0. And you know you can't have a 0 in the denominator. Talk truth.
Right.
Come on. So there is an age that is missing somewhere up here that we have to go find.
We'll start all over again.
There's an age that we're missing, 5xh, okay. 5xh, 5 2 times 10, 5xh. 5xh, 10x. 5x plus 3. 10xh minus 10xh, those two cancel out. 15x minus that's 13x minus 13h. All right. All right. Guess what?
10h.
Yeah, find that in us, sir.
No man, I can't find. I can't. No man, I can't find it. I can't find it. It's chances are because I'm copying and pasting. I copy and paste something either twice or something else, but I can't find it. It's neither here nor there. What I don't want to do though is I really want and I know that quite a number of the students here have something to do, and I really promised them, and I've taken 20 minutes. Do me a favor. I am going to just fix this, send it off to you tonight, so that the others can get a chance. The 40 minutes now to just complete this piece of assessment, while the others, while the rest of you who don't have any assignment due will go on edit and complete something and give me a couple of minutes. I just fix this one and just send it off to you. Fair enough?
Appreciate it, sir.
Bless the heart.
Still
I'll
love
stop
you,
here.
sir. Still love you.
Yeah, man. Bless up. Later. Take care, guys.
Sir, remember who opened the thing today?
Yeah, man. Will do. Man,
Hello, Emilia. Sir, now open up the